realize that we all have a choice where our money goes. So, and we all have three possible beneficiaries. You've got family, you've got the government, and you've got charity. And each of us can pick only two of those. Most people would take family and charity. Well, with proper planning, you can be remembered for giving a lot of money away today or down the road to charity as opposed to writing a big check to Ottawa. Now, that's kind of nice. We definitely need money for social structures. Like we need money for taxes and, to keep the lights on. But I love this quote from Morgan Stanley who says, taxes are a reality in life, but there's no law that says that you have to leave a tip. There's no, and the government has introduced about 25 different pieces of legislation since 1995 to make it more favorable for Canadians to give. So let me just give you a couple of examples of that. We'll give you a couple of ideas that people, your listeners, might be interested in, and it's quite remarkable. So first of all, in any given year, charitable donations can be used to mitigate up to 75% of your net taxable personal or corporate income. And anything over and above that can be carried forward for up to 5 years.
Well,
That means if you owe $5,000 in tax and you give $10,000 away to charity, now your $5,000 of tax becomes charity. Okay, but on the estate side, which I'm going to say that 95% of all professional advisors are not talking about, and 90% of the charities are not talking about, is that charitable donations on death as part of your estate planning can be used to mitigate 100% of estate taxes.
wow.
100% of it, including going back the year prior. That means for every $2 you give to charity, you turn a dollar of tax into a dollar of legacy. So, we're listening right now, people are listening to this. I'd love to ask your listeners, hey, do you know how much your estate tax is going to be? And I guarantee you, 98% of them have no idea. Maybe they don't know. Nobody's told them about it. So if you know there's an estate tax and you're generous, the time to deal with this is obviously while you can. So that's just one idea around the charity. And some ideas that I love to help people with is most Canadians are still giving, to charity cash checks and credit cards, which are the least cost and tax efficient ways of giving. There are better ways to give, which allow you to give more at less cost. So one of those, which it's remarkable that people aren't doing it, is that you can actually donate appreciated public securities like stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, and you can donate those in kind. So they're the certificates. You donate those to a charity. You pay no capital gains taxes at all. And what capital gains taxes are, so just so your listeners know, is let's say you bought a stock for $10,000 and now it's worth 20,000. So there's been a gain of 10,000. When you sell that, you have to give the government $2,700 of tax. But if you donate it in kind, you pay no capital gains tax and you get a charitable receipt for the full market value that helps you save taxes on your current situation. So what I try to do is I love to help families include strategic philanthropy in their estate planning. So if they've got a tax bill, let's just say $1 million estate tax bill, that their family's going to have to pay. I'd rather them go ahead and create $1 million life insurance policy to pay that tax, or double up that life insurance policy to 2 million and leave that to charity. And now the $1 million in tax becomes charity, and they're remembered for giving $2 million to charity as opposed to being forgotten by giving $1 million to Ottawa. So again, there's no cookie cutter here, but there's such a lack of knowledge, and we have a very ambitious goal of, our corporate mission is to educate and inspire professional advisors and charities to be incorporating strategic philanthropy into clients and donors' estate planning. The other thing is life insurance is an amazing way to multiply your giving at a very, very, very reduced cost. And that's something we're trying to educate people on. And the last thing we're doing is we're trying to build a national community of 100 professional advisors and charities that if we're each creating $10 million a year of either current or future gifts, and you have 100 of that, that's $1 billion a year.
Wow.
$1 billion with a B. And that's not pie in the sky. It's kind of like crowdfunding. You know, we've already got 2 dozen already attached to this mission on a non-obligatory basis, but you can find out about it at our website if you're a professional advisor. I also have an amazing mentoring and coaching program now in its fifth year called powerofplatinum.com. You can look it up on the internet, but we've had over 200 advisors go through it in charities where we're helping them become experts at strategic philanthropy and high net worth insurance and planning. And I like to share all of the things I learned from my mentors with all these advisors because it can be a very lonely business out there. We don't have advice, we don't have mentors, we don't have coaches, and I feel so much an obligation to want to be able to give that back too. So it's very rewarding. Fun.
One. So acrobats. Okay, so if you had to use acrobats as a metaphor for success, how is success like acrobats?
Acrobats are great because what they do is, first of all, you have to make sure that you've got what is that thing underneath the acrobats? Like where if they fall, what is
Net.
that called?
Safety
A
net.
net. Make sure that you've got a net underneath you at all times. Number two is make sure that you're physically fit. So 98% of your success in life is going to be predicated by sleep, diet, and exercise. So make sure that you are healthy. That is what drives you to be able to be successful and have a healthy, and happy life. The other thing is make sure you hold on tight. There are going to be lots of twists and turns along the way, ups and downs. Don't let go. Hold on tight. Okay. Number four, realize there is safe landing on the other side. And if you have people around you, they're going to help you get there safely. You just have to trust them, trust the process, and make sure when the time comes that you reach out to them when you let go.
That was flawless. It almost felt like you had this PowerPoint presentation on success and acrobats already in your back pocket. So nicely
You
done.
know what? First of all, I love the question. I've never been asked that question. Thank God I have a really good gift and that I see that sort of stuff. But I think that question was really a lot of fun. Thank you for throwing a softball at me.